Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with some insane Bethesda Game Studios news. It appears that their next title may have been leaked on Target.com. The information in this video originated from a post on Reddit/games, which I will have linked in the description down below, and it leads to this page here, which I will also have linked in the description down below, where there is no box art, but it just says Bethesda Game of Thrones, which is clearly a placeholder listing. This is wild. Now, this isn't the first time we have seen a Game of Thrones games. For those familiar with the Telltale style games, we did see a Game of Thrones rendition of that. It wasn't the best received title, but it does show that Game of Thrones wants those games. We've seen them searching for that ideal developer for a Game of Thrones RPG. In fact, Bethesda Game Studios was originally the ones to do it, but they turned it down. This was around 2011 when they were working on Skyrim, and I think that worked out pretty well because Skyrim is an awesome game in my opinion. And never say never here, because that didn't mean that they weren't ever going to return to Game of Thrones, that they weren't ever going to do it, just then wasn't the right time. So does this mean that the time is right? With the show's 7th season ending as I make this video, and there's only one more season of the show to go, the time seems right for a brand new Game of Thrones game, a Game of Thrones RPG, probably set in an open world if my speculation is correct and just looking at Bethesda Game Studios catalog, making me think that this is an excellent partner for Game of Thrones to select. Furthermore, Todd Howard said that we have 3 longer-term projects we're all doing that we'll talk about them at a much future date, but they're different than anything we've done before, while also being a Bethesda-style game, big and crazy, but in many ways different than things we've done before. So what's more different than a Bethesda-style game that ties into the Game of Thrones universe, maybe has a more focus on that melee combat, because there's not going to be like that Elder Scrolls magic that we've seen before. What is going to be most telling about this is seeing if there's any comment on this whatsoever from Bethesda's PR, if this page gets removed, if this Reddit post gets taken down by anyone. I think those actions will be very telling of whether or not this is real or fake. But the timing leads me to believe that this simply cannot be fake. First of all, it's leaking on an official retailer. Number 2, with the 7th season ending and seeing that the show entirely is going to be finished soon, the time for a game is right. Who knows when this game will be officially announced? If it is real, will it be at the end of the 7th season, or will they wait till the show's entirely done? I'm not entirely sure on that. Also, it's worth mentioning that this series finale may not be hitting screens until 2019, which leaves a long time in between the end of Season 7 and the beginning of Season 8, meaning that it would be pretty ideal for Bethesda to fit a game inside there. Right now, all we can do is speculate, but at least there's something to go off of now. We've seen a lot of Starfield discussion, and we're now going to see a lot of Game of Thrones discussion. I love Game of Thrones, man, so hopefully this is actually true. This is like a match made in heaven to me. So we will have to wait and see, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Please check out the information I also linked in the description down below. Investigate for yourselves, people, and I'm looking forward to all of that feedback. While you're down in the description, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, as well as considering supporting my Patreon as it fuels all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.